ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदम् पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Chapter 6, verse number 17. Yukta ahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. I repeat. Yukta ahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. See the translation. Yoga becomes a destroyer of sorrow of one whose eating and movements are regulated, whose efforts in works is moderate, and whose sleep and wakefulness are controlled. See the translation one more time. Yoga becomes a destroyer of sorrow of one whose eating and movements are regulated, whose efforts in karma actions is moderate, and whose sleep and wakefulness are moderate. We are studying chapter 6. Its name is Atma Sanyam Yoga. You can say that Dhyan Yoga also, the yoga of the meditation. All over the world, yoga is being done. Everyone is trying to its level yoga. Some are practicing asana, some meditation, some pranayama. According to Patanjali, Patanjali is the authority of the yoga. But here Sri Krishna is giving a method of meditation, method of the yoga. Somewhere it is very similar to Patanjali, and sometimes it is not. The question is, why do we do the yoga? What the purpose of the yoga? Someone is doing yoga for bodily health. Someone is doing yoga for the mental peace. But it is not purpose of the yoga. The yoga's purpose is destruction of the miseries, destructions of the all sorrow. Not only one sorrow. If we do the yoga for body healthiness, my body may be healthy, but I may have another problems. If I do the yoga for mental health, there may be the peace of the mind. But miseries are there also. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, the ultimate purpose of the yogas is the destruction of the all sorrows or miseries. It is like this, we call it meditation. Meditation like a medicine. When we take medicine, if I am not healthy, then I take medicine. If I am not healthy, I go to doctor. So taking meditation, going to the doctor is not a great thing. It shows that you are unhealthy. If you are doing meditation, you are taking medicine, it means you are not healthy. You are going to doctor. So ultimate purpose of the yoga is destruction of all miseries. All miseries. How is it possible? If you want to know about this method, we have to listen to Sri Krishna's this yoga process. He says, Yogo bhavati dukkha. The yoga becomes the cause for destructions of our sorrows. But for whom? He is giving some qualities. He is giving some definitions. He says, Yukta ahara viharasya. In previous verse, we studied that first, for meditation, you sit properly. You take a proper seat. Then you make a proper posture. Make your body in a line. Do not say here and there. And control your mind, your sense organs. This process is for some time. If you do the meditation for 1 hour, for 2 hours, 30 minutes, not 24 hours. Sri Krishna is saying here for a seeker of the yoga, for a seeker of the happiness, for a seeker of the spirituality. For him, he is giving a method. And this method not only for the seekers, this method is for everyone. Yukta ahara viharasya. When you are not meditating, when you are not sitting in a posture, you are working, you are sleeping, you are waking, you are working. In that time also, your practice has to be done. Your practice should be continued. This is the yukta. See, Sri Krishna says, yukta ahara viharasya. First thing is, you have to make yoga part of the life. Yoga is not a suffering process. Yoga is not a stressful activity. It is very easy. According to Sri Krishna, if you follow the rules of Sri Krishna, he says it is very easy. It is very stressful. It is a life. How? Live your life just it is. Live your life just it is. Now see, yukta ahara viharasya. Mean eat food. For what? We eat food for stomach. And we should eat food for the stomach, not for the taste. If you are hungry, eat food. If you're not hungry, do not eat food only for taste. So this path is the path of relaxation. Yukta ahara viharasya. When food is needed, Sri Krishna says you take. When action is needed, you do it. Because without food, according to Sri Krishna, fasting means with food, with controlled food. If your food eat in control, in moderate way, you are doing fasting. Yukta ahara viharasya. Yukta Ch6 karmasu. So food is not optional. Food is not habit. It is not, I love food. No, it is a part of the life. Without food, Krishna says, life is not possible. But take food according to your body structure. Here, Sri Krishna is not giving any diet plan. Here, he is not giving any chart of the food. You eat this, eat this, eat this. No, he is not giving any food restrictions. He is not giving any quantity, any quality. He leaves up to you. You take decision. What your body demands. How much. So you have to take a decision how much food is needed in your body. So eat food for stomach, not for taste. It is your resting. It is your fasting. So yukta means between, not too much, not too little. There was a saint who used to say always, the people would ask him, what is your bhakti? What is your sadhana? What is your siddhi? He would say, when I am hungry, I eat food. When I am sleepy, I sleep. So spirituality is so simple. Spirituality is not a stressful life. We think spiritual life is very, very difficult. But no, Sri Krishna is giving instructions. Yukta ahara vihara. Your recreation should be in balance. The point is interaction with the world. We are taking the food. We are listening any sound. Whatever we take, it is our food. So yukta means moderate, not too much, not too little. Yukta ahara, yukta vihara, your activity, your thinking. Do not think much more, but make plan. Yukta sapnavabodhasya, and he's saying your dream, sleep, and deep sleep, and waking also should be yukta, moderate, controlled. Means what? See what we do. When there is too much work and we wake, we avoid the sleep. We take coffee, we take tea. For what? Because I have lots of work, so I do not have time to sleep. So I have to work. So I take tea. I take coffee. And after some time, we face the problem of sleepless. I want sleep. I am waiting in my wait, but sleep does not come. I am rolling down here and there, but there is no sleep. I am waiting and waiting and waiting. Then we start taking sleep pills. So see what we did. Before, when sleep was coming, I took the tea for avoid the sleep. Now I am taking sleep pills. This is the imbalance. Sri Krishna says, life is so simple. Yoga is so simple. Spirituality is so simple without any stress. Just know few points. When sleep comes, sleep. Do not wait in your wait. When you are waking state, do not sleep in your wait. And what we do? We wait, sleep in the night, and we wait, waking state in the morning. So we destroyed our waking, we destroyed our sleep. Sri Krishna says, Yukta sapnavabodhasya. Your sleep should be moderate. And here he is not giving any instructions how much you sleep, 4 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours. No. He says, listen your body. Your body is your best companion. Your body is your best well-wisher. It is for you. So just listen your body. If sleep is required, give the sleep. And you can see our body is so tired. So much tired, we do not have time to realize it. We are so tired. But we do not have time to realize that factor. When some peace comes in mind, immediately sleep comes. That is why in talks, in discourses, in study classes, the students are sleeping. Because they feel some relaxation. So the method of the yoga is according to Sri Krishna. When you are sleepy, sleep. If you are not feel sleepy, do not sleep. Yukta. Then, now next. Yada vinyatam chittam atmanneva vatisthate nispriha sarva kamebhyo yukta ityuchyate tada. I repeat. Yada vinyatam chittam atmanneva vatisthate nispriya sarva kamebhyo yukta ityuchyate tada. See the translation. A man who has become free from hankering for all desirable objects is then said to be self-observed when the controlled mind rests in the self alone. See the translation one more time. A man who has become free from hankering for all desirable objects is then said to be self-observed when the controlled mind rests in the self alone. Now, method was given. How to sit, how to eat, how to sleep, how much sleep. So method was given. Now, the state comes, yada vinyatam chittam atmannev avatishtat. Now he starts meditating. Because by this method, the seeker, the yogi, becomes free from the body. Now your body is not your obstacle. Because body is not your enemy. There are some requirements of the body. So just give its requirements. Body becomes quiet. But be careful. Everything should be given in proportion. Then what is next? Sri Krishna says, after that, the seeker becomes quiet. Vinyatam chittam. Chittam means the mind. Mind follows you. Mind follows you. Now we follow the mind. Whatever comes in my mind, I do. We follow the mind, but now mind is controlled. And mind follows us. Yada vinyatam chitta. So now in this state, the yogi, the seeker, becomes free from the body, free from the sense organs. Mind is controlled. This is the ideal condition. Nispriya sarva kamebhyo. The word is nispriya. Nispriya means the desire, hankering. I want this, I want this, I want this. Why do you want? Wanting shows that you are weak. You are vaguer. Your wantings are more, you are bigger. Wanting shows you are handicapped. That is why you want. In this state, mind feels so insecure. Now our mind, our intellect feels that so insecurity, Our minds demands always, I want this, I want this. Without this object, I would be difficulty. I would be in difficulty, so I need this, I want this, I want this, I want this. So hankering for the objects of the mind source, we are weak. Now, your mind, Atmanneva Vatisthate. When mind is controlled and you gave a proper direction to the mind and it encounters to the self. See, the properly directed mind encounters the self. You can say the God, you can say the self, the Atman, the Brahman, whatever you want, you can say. Now, first time, mind encounters the self, the consciousness. Atmanneva Vatisthate. 8 minds in kind experienced only objects. But first time, now mind encounters the consciousness. So having done this all process, how to sit, what to eat, how much to eat, and controlled mind, then Sri Krishna says, this mind can be entered into self. Now see what happens. We are trying to meditate. We are using so many methods. We have been using so many methods. But any method does not work. It will not work because if attractions of the objects, if the attractions of the worldly objects is in the mind, no matter which method you are trying, any method will not work. That is why Lord Sri Krishna is giving a method. Atmanneva Vatisthate. You give direction to your mind towards the self. You remember in previous talk, I said, in this path, your mind should be concentrated on the self, on the God, not any inner object. Atmanneva Vatisthate means now your mind realize the self. And mind does not have any interest in the objective world. Nispriha sarvakamebhyo. Yukta ityuchyate tada, Sri Krishna says, then you are the yukta. You are the perfect yogi. This yogi is perfect. Just relaxes. So, now, next one. Yatha deepo nivatastho nengate sopama smritaha yogino yat chittasya yunjato yogam atmana. I repeat. Yatha deepo nivatastho nengate sopama smritaha Yogino yata chittasya yunjato yogam atmana. See the translation. Just as a lamp in the windless place does not flicker. This simile is recalled in the case of the man of yoga with subdued mind practicing the yoga in the self. See the translation again. Just as a lamp in the windless place does not flicker, this simile is recalled in the case of the man of yoga with subdued mind practicing the yoga in the self. Now, I would like to connect Patanjali too. As I told before, this method somewhere is very close to Patanjali and somewhere is not. So we have to recall the method of the Patanjalis also. Patanjali says, Chitta Vritti Nirodha Yoga. Yoga means what? Chitta Vritti Nirodha. There are steps. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, and Nirvikalp Samadhi. In Samadhi, there are two categories. One is Sampragyat Samadhi, another is Asampragyat Samadhi. What Sampragyat Samadhi and what is Asampragyat Samadhi? See the difference. In Sampragyat Samadhi, there is your mind with a single point. Now see, there are 3 points. The meditator, meditation, and meditated. Dhyata, dhyan, dhya. The meditator, the one person who meditates. Meditator, and the process of meditation. The meditation, and the point of the meditation. 3 points. Meditator, the process of the meditation, and the point where we meditate. In Sampragyat Samadhi, there slowly, the meditator disappears. There is no meditator. It is like this. Sometimes it may happen with you also. You meditate and you lost for some time. You don't remember yourself. No any memory. You forget yourself. If the meditator disappears, the process of the meditation also disappears. Only one point remains. One point remains, and that is meditated. The point. So there is no meditator, no process of the meditation, just one point remains. After some time, the yogi comes back. Again, he remembers himself, the process of the meditation, and wake up and do so many things other. This is the state of the Sampragyat Samadhi. After that comes Asampragyat Samadhi. what asampragya samadhi is. So now see this mantra. Yatha dipo nivatasto ningate sopam asmrita. Yogino yat chittasya injato yogam atmana. Sri Krishna is giving a simile here. You put a lamp in windless place. The flame of the lamp does not flicker. See, there is no any place windless. Wind is everywhere. And wind is the cause of the fire. Wind is oxygen. Without oxygen, fire is not possible. Without wind, the flame of the lamp is not possible. Sri Krishna is talking about access wind. The life of the fire is oxygen. But if becomes access, like water is life for us. Water is life. But it should be used properly. If water comes in the lungs, it will kill us. If water becomes access, it may be cause for death. Sri Krishna is saying here, like without access air, you put a lamp, and flame of the lamp give you light, and without any shaking, without flickering. Yogino yat chittas, same. The mind of yogis which is controlled. Yat yunjato yogam atmana. Same in asampragya samadhi. What happened? In asampragya samadhi, the mind of the yogi becomes merged with the self. For that person, any condition, any situation will not make that person be apart, become away from the self. He is always connected with the self. That yogi may do any work. He may be in office. He may be working like a father for his child. He may be working for his or her spouse. Anything can be done by that person. But its connection with the self never lose. Any problems, any kind of happiness, any situation come and go, but the connection with the self will never lose. The wind of the objects according to destiny. Sometimes happiness may come. Sometimes miseries also can come. But the connection of the self, of the mind, the connection between the mind and the self never lose. Sri Krishna is saying this is asampragyat samadhi. Whatever you do, your job. And if you are sleeping, you are not sleeping, you are meditating. If you are eating, you are not eating, you are meditating. Whatever you do, your work becomes meditation. So meditation is not limited for hours or 2 hours or 30 minutes. That person is always in meditation. Every time, every condition, he is in meditation. Now next, yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pashyan natmani tushyat. I repeat this verse again. Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pashyan natmani tushyat. See the translation. Where the mind controlled by the practice of yoga rests, and where seeing the self by the self, one is delighted by the self only. See again, translation. Where the mind controlled by the practice of yoga rests, and where seeing the self by the self, one is delighted by the self only. Now see how method is going. Everything is meditation. Yatra, in this state, uparamate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya. Patanjali said, chitta vritti nirodha yoga. The cessation of the mind thought process is the yoga. Here also same thing. But something is special. I would point out that point. The first thing we have to understand here, Sri Krishna is saying, yatra uparamate chittam. Yoga sevaya, by practicing of the yoga. The purpose of the yoga is management of the mind. Niruddham. The purpose of the yoga is give a proper way to the mind. Do not try to kill the mind. A mind is very, very auspicious. Niruddham yoga sevaya, do practice of yoga. Keep doing practice of yoga. Slowly, slowly, your mind starts listening to you. And it uparate, it becomes introvert. Mind needs something support. Only the points are now mind has objective support. Now, having done the practice of yoga, mind becomes niruddham. Niruddham does not mean thoughtless. Niruddham means a proper way. The proper way of the mind, how to use it is, you have to give a direction to the mind towards the self. Yatra chaivatmanatmanam pasyannatmanam. In that condition, now mind is extrovert. Automatically, it is going out with the sense organs. And nothing wrong. It is happening. It is by nature. But you are a yogi. You are practicing of the yoga. So one thing you have to do, keep the right way to the mind. Introvert. This is the niruddham, cessation of the mind. This the entire yoga practice is only for that purpose. The purpose is our mind is going outside towards the objects. The entire method will guide the mind to go towards self. Then what happens? Yatra chaivatmanatmanam pasyan. The right way to the mind is, it should go inside. And inside, when it enters inside, it will see the Atman. It will realize the Atman. It will experience the Atman. It will enjoy the Atman. Atman means self. Brahman, God, whatever name you can give. So method of the yoga does only that it changes the direction of the mind. Direction of the mind. It was going outside. Now by the yogic practice, you gave a direction towards the self. And because mind has faculty to realize, to experience something, and when it enters inside, mind experiences the self. Pasyan Atman. He started realizing of the self. And here is written, when he encounters the self, when mind experiences the self, it gets so much happiness. It gets so much satisfaction. It becomes quiet. It becomes calm. This is the asampragya samadhi. Now nothing to do. All thing has to be done. Is done. Pasyan atmani tushyati. Tushyati means satisfaction. The mind gets satisfaction only after realization of the self. Tushyati, it becomes calm, it becomes quiet. Now, next and the last. Sukham atyantikam yattat buddhi grahyam atindriyam vetyatra na chaivayam sthitas chalati tattatah. I repeat. Sukham atyantikam yattat buddhi grahyam atindriyam vetyatra na chaivayam sthitas chalati tattatah. See the translation. When one experiences that absolute bliss, which can be intuited by the intellect and which is beyond the senses and being established, this person surely does not move from reality. See the translation again. When one experiences that absolute bliss, which can be intuited by the intellect and which is beyond the senses and being established, this person surely does not shake from reality. So having done this practice, the yogi reached to the self. And he realizes the self, the beauty of the self, the splendor of the self, and becomes so surprised, so in happiness, so calm, so quiet, becomes so wonderful. What kind of happiness is this? Sri Krishna is giving here some definitions. Sukham atyantikam yattat. This happiness is absolute. Absolute. This happiness already was there. Worldly objects, happiness comes and goes. It takes birth. If I am hungry, I take food, happiness comes. If I am poor and I get money, I becomes happy. This happiness before does not exist. But this happiness, atyantikam, absolute, it was waiting for you. This happiness is absolute, endless. Enjoy as much as you can. This happiness can be enjoyed as much as you want, no less. It was, it is, it will be always. Atyantikam. Always. It is with you always. You cannot leave it. This happiness cannot leave you. It was not born. In other words, you can say that you have discovered that happiness. Atyantik. Absolute happiness. Limitless happiness. Never-ending happiness. So see the difference between the bodily happiness and this happiness. Yattat buddhi grahyam. And now one thing here Sri Krishna is trying to say, when we are in deep sleep, in deep sleep, there is no pain. Suppose I am a sick person. I have pain in my body 24/7. But when I am deep sleep, that state, there is no pain. I am not feeling any pain. No any experience of the pain. But that time you cannot experience even happiness also. In that state, neither misery can be experienced, nor the happiness. You are not aware of your happiness. But in this state, you are fully aware. You are totally aware. I am experiencing the happiness. I am experiencing this happiness. Buddhi grahyam. Atindriyam, it is not matter of the senses. Beyond of the sense. Beyond of the sense. Nothing to do with the senses. When you realize the sense, when you realize the self, when you experience the self in meditation state, you will get happiness. And that happiness, Sri Krishna ji seeing some differences, it is absolute, you are fully aware, it is beyond of the sense organs. Vetyatra chayvayam stitas chalati tattva. Once it becomes realization, your realization, then never, it will not leave you. Your mind will not become restless. Stitas chalati tattva. Tattva means that reality. The reality of the happiness, which is always with you. Na means never. So no matter what you are doing, you may suffer. But you are enjoying inner side your that source of happiness. Like Ramakrishna had cancer. He was suffering. He was in so pain. Suffering was there, but deep down, he was connected with that source of happiness. He was feeling the pain, the misery. But inner side, he was connected the inner happiness, the ultimate happiness. So any condition could be with you. Any condition would be with the seeker. But he is always connected with the happiness. So Sri Krishna is giving here a method of its consequences, how a seeker get absolute happiness. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashikritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Isharo Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Kshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashikritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Isharo Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Kshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayeta. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.